welcome to the newest edition of The Insider, the ongoing video series that keeps you up to date on all things IPW. I'm your host, J-Rod. The house was decked out in pink, including a pink ring for the second annual Pink Out. We were happy to make a donation to the Susan G. Komen Foundation once again. Right off the bat, we were treated to the unexpected return of our IPW champion, Quick Carter Gray. While everyone was happy to see him back, the mood was killed pretty quickly when Carter said he was actually here to vacate the title. Carter said his head and heart just aren't in it, and the IPW fans deserve more. Just then, he was interrupted by Anthony CATENA. CATENA showed up simply to give Carter Gray a pep talk. He reminded Carter of the sacrifices he's made and the success he's reached over the years. CATENA assured Carter that he's still got plenty of gas left in his tank. My broadcast partner, WOLFE, got out of his seat and walked to the ring to offer an alternative solution to Gray. Just hand the title over to WOLFE and retire in peace. The encouragement from CATENA, coupled with the annoyance of WOLFE, must have sparked something inside of Gray, who offered to put his title on the line in a triple threat match against CATENA and WOLFE. A huge risk, as Gray is set to defend the title already in the biggest match of his career at Grave Danger later this month. In the first bout of the evening, Chad Alpha took on Black Platinum Marcus Porter. These two brutes went at it in a good old-fashioned hoss fight. Fans will remember Jeremiah Nazareth attempted to recruit Chad Alpha at Homecoming, as Alpha has consistently lost every single match he's had since April, and Jeremiah believed Alpha could be more if he would just bend to the will of Nazareth. Alpha declined Nazareth's offer, and Nazareth tried to sick the dogs on Alpha. Casey Tempest failed in attacking Alpha and pissed off Nazareth, which would explain why Casey showed up to ringside during this match with a steel chair in an attempt to screw Alpha out of his match with Porter. Tempest failed once again as Porter accidentally hit Tempest with a huge spear. Then Alpha put Porter down with a huge power slam to get the win and end the excruciating half-a-year-long losing streak. And to think, all it took was an attitude adjustment to get himself back on track. In refusing Jeremiah Nazareth's offer to join the Forgotten, Alpha has won over the fans, but made himself a very powerful enemy in Jeremiah Nazareth. On October 29th at Grave Danger, Chad Alpha will challenge Jeremiah Nazareth for the IPW Michiana Championship. The Dark Gentleman had a very impressive IPW debut at Homecoming, where he nearly dethroned the Michiana champion. He went one-on-one with the undefeated Fendrick Bison. Bison's ascension has been nothing short of spectacular, with wins over LaDon Sanders, Mondo Real, and most recently Terry Van Avery. Bison continuously builds momentum. The fans would go back and forth with chants of "Let's go Bison," immediately followed by "Let's go Blake." But it was the Bison fans who got their wish, as Bison once again would bring home the big victory. Derek Wolfe screwed LaDon Sanders out of everything. Sanders lost the tag team titles without a single successful defense. Then he had his business swallowed by Wolfe Industries. Wolfe absolutely refused the match with Sanders, stating that he had nothing to gain from beating Sanders because he already took everything Sanders had. Sanders immediately rushed to the broadcast booth to confront Wolfe, but IPW referees were able to de-escalate the situation. Sanders' opponent, a debuting IPW wrestler by the name of the amazing ZONDO, was able to capitalize on LaDon's lack of focus for a moment, but was ultimately no match for the Colonel of Clappin' Cheeks. At this point, it's unclear if he will ever get a chance to even the score with Derek Wolfe. At all IPW live events, we organize a raffle to give away prizes to the audience. This one was conducted by a horribly intoxicated Terry Van Avery, who stumbled to the ring, nearly falling over, slurring his words and making a complete ass out of himself while drinking from a bottle of rum he carried with him to the ring. IPW does not condone this type of behavior, and IPW matchmaker Josh Raymond left the commentary booth to try to get his former tag team partner out of the ring. Terry had no interest in leaving and insisted that he wanted to wrestle. The crowd had fun with it for a moment, but it wasn't until Van Avery shoved Raymond that everyone realized how serious the situation was. Raymond eventually was able to get Van Avery out of the ring without things getting worse, and Raymond has suspended Van Avery from competition until further notice. This whole thing could have been much worse. We're lucky cooler heads prevailed. About a year ago, Jimmy Sholwin was in search of a young up-and-comer that he could mentor. Sholwin chose Jason DeMilo. DeMilo showed he was the wrong choice when he screwed Sholwin over. Over the past few months, Shaolin has realized that he should have picked Mondo Real instead. Shaolin called Mondo down to the ring to make it official. They were interrupted by the Forgotten. Max Morrison volunteered Casey Tempest and Jarvis Gray to team against Real and Shaolin. Shaolin challenged Morrison instead, but Morrison refused, saying he couldn't because he had a title match. Considering Morrison backstabbed Shaolin to join the Forgotten, Shaolin has been waiting for the opportunity to go one-on-one with Morrison, but this wouldn't be that night. Instead, Real and Shaolin showed a great deal of chemistry and picked up a great win over the Forgotten. Since Pink Out, Shaolin and Real have spent plenty of time training together and working on their innovative new offense.
Thanks for some of those, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to watch it back.
Man, it's flowing pretty good out there.
It was, man. It felt good. It felt good.
Yeah.
Thanks for sticking by me, man. I think Real Hype's going to tear up the IPW tag scene here.
It's understandable, but, I feel the hype is real.
Down, man.
Somehow, Morrison was able to score himself a shot at the women's title against Randy West. Morrison took it to Randy for the majority of the match until Hype Shaolin reemerged to cause a diversion, leading to a big win for the champion. Shaolin told Morrison he would continue to interfere in Morrison's matches until Morrison accepted his challenge. At last year's Grave Danger, Shaolin put Jeremiah Nazareth through a table. Shaolin vowed to do the same to Morrison at this year's Grave Danger, and with that, the match was set. Jimmy Shaolin versus Max Morrison in a tables match on October 29th at Grave Danger 3. As for the women's champion, she will defend her title at Grave Danger. Her opponent, Davison Sarai. The two will finally have their rubber match. Early on in the evening, I spoke to Schwartzy. I wanted to ask him about his match, but we were interrupted by Jarvis Gray. Jarvis just claimed he was cooler than Schwartzy, and Schwartzy is nowhere near the party animal that Jarvis is. Schwartzy would have to put that altercation behind him and focus on his matchup with Marco Modelo. Having never been pinned or submitted, Marco currently has the second longest ongoing win streak in IPW behind only Aaron Orion. It looked as if his streak would come to an end when Schwartzy slapped on the figure 4. But Jarvis Gray showed up to steal Schwartzy's cooler. This distracted the Davin Daddy long enough for Modello to capitalize and steal the victory. The Forgotten ambushed Schwartzy after the match, but Chad Alpha stormed to the ring to even the score. If the Forgotten wants to assault Schwartzy, they'll have their chance, and Schwartzy will have the chance to get his cooler back, because on October 29th at Grave Danger 3, Schwartzy will take on Jarvis Gray. The main event was finally underway as both Anthony Catena and Derek Wolfe challenged the undisputed, undefeated IPW champion Carter Gray. Wolfe had a terrific game plan as he blindsided Gray with the most vicious iPad shot you'll ever see. Gray was bloodied and incapacitated until he worked his way back into the match just long enough to be put through a table by Wolfe. Catena and Wolfe went back and forth until Gray made his way back into the match. In the end, the unthinkable happened. Derek Wolfe surprised everyone when he became the first person to score a pinfall on Carter Gray and won the IPW championship. Following the huge victory, Wolfe had this to say.
The fact of the matter is, I did not become successful without taking chances, without taking risks. I saw an opportunity at IPW Pink Out and I took it. And some people, they may criticize me for it. They may not like the way I went about my actions. But the result was triumph. Because I am the IPW champion. And now, you can revel in my success. Bank on that.
To put an end to any speculation, Carter Gray has not only lost his championship to Wolfe, but his place in the six-man title match, as Derek Wolfe will now defend the IPW Championship against Aaron Orion, Adam Effin Wick, Ren Jones, Jamal King, and the Black Diamond Jack Price on October 29th at Grave Danger 3. It is concerning that Carter Gray's IPW contract will be expiring soon, and with his recent mental breakdown, whether he will re-sign or not is uncertain. The event ended with an eerie message from Jeremiah Nazareth. Nazareth told Chad Alpha the consequences for rejecting his offer, then spoke on Jamal King. When Nazareth told King that the Forgotten will be in his corner at Grave Danger, King did not outright reject the offer, which leaves us all wondering what King must be thinking. King can't seriously be considering joining the Forgotten, right? That concludes this edition of The Insider. Be sure to wear your best costume and join us Saturday, October 29th at Vandermill Cider in Grand Rapids, Michigan for our annual Halloween celebration, Grave Danger 3.